Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday, the 9th of October, 2022, for another action-packed episode, and let's jump straight into it with the latest aircraft releases for Microsoft Flight Simulator, leading the pack this week with the team from India Fox Techo, with the release of their edition of the Leonardo M346 Combat Trainer. So this is a highly detailed rendition of a fascinating little twin-engine transonic trainer aircraft that comes from the pedigree of Air Macchi, which was a produced a number of popular training aircraft throughout the 1970s all the way through to the early 2000s, and it was actually evolved out of an original partnership with Yakolov as well. Now, the team over at India Fox Techo have applied their experience with modeling this aircraft previously and recreated the aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator with giving us a beautiful, highly detailed rendition of the aircraft. Now, the aircraft comes with us with the usual stuff that we expect from India Fox Techo, with exquisite 3D models and great systems of realizations of all the aircraft major systems, including the full implementation of a realistic HUD, MFD, and UFCP interface for the aircraft based on the real-life details. Includes a number of high-detailed texture sets of all current operators of the aircraft, as well as the prototype, and gives us a custom flight model designed and tested based on publicly available data. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $25 or your original equivalent, available from your favorite flight sim retailer and from the InSim marketplace. Continuing on with other aircraft releases, in a interesting aircraft release, this one, a fascinating looking aircraft, this one comes to us, the Pacific Aerospace P750X Stoll. Now, this is a really fascinating aircraft. I've seen one of these in real life, and it looks weird. It really does, but is an extremely short takeoff and landing aircraft, and it traces its origins back to a previous pack design, the Cresco and Fletcher. It retains the turboprop engine of the Cresco, but has a larger wingspan, larger wing area, and a larger fuselage, and was actually originally designed and optimized for as a agricultural support aircraft, but owing to its larger fuselage size, also supporting a number of different roles, including serving as a parachute transport for people who wanting to do crazy things like skydive, as well as providing transportation services of cargo and personnel into a number of extremely short strips and short and unprepared strips that make it fairly unique in terms of how much cargo and payload it can carry. So this rendition comes to us from the team at Orbix, so the Orbix aviation team, and gives us a detailed rendition of the aircraft, including a highly accurate 3D model, both internally and externally, full set of custom avionics, custom code electronics and gauges for its various systems. It comes with three different variants, at least three different variants of the aircraft, including passenger cargo variants, parachuting variant, and an agricultural variant. So that makes four, doesn't it? There you go. So you do get four different variants of the aircraft are included with this one. Includes support as well for the third-party TDS GTN 750XI. So if you do have third-party avionics, this aircraft does support that. And overall looks pretty damn impressive. Now, if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $25 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Continuing on with aircraft releases, well, it is technically still an aircraft because it does fly in a controlled fashion of a sense. So the team over at Hype Performance Group have brought us their latest creation with their release of their hot air balloon. And there I was thinking that Microsoft Flight Simulator would be the first Microsoft family of flight sims that didn't have Mach 2 balloons flying around. Anyway, moving on. So this is an interesting release from the team here, giving us, what do I say about this? I don't know. It's a really interesting concept. I think is probably the best way to summarize that. The team's sort of spiel for it includes custom detailed cockpit animations, or basket animations, shall we say, including a number of gauges. So you have various steam gauges to give you vertical speed, altitude, and the envelope thermometer. So the temperature of the air inside the balloon envelope, which is of course very important because if you want to go anywhere in this one, you have to put hot air. So there's a lot of hot air that gets blown into into this model. Now you get the option, you get an EFB tablet is included with a variety of maps. It also supports being able to connect to Little Nav Map, which is a great freeware mapping and flight simulation companion application for PC users. Allows you to tune into nearby radio stations, which is interesting. I'd love to know more about that one, as well as being able to get into a Balloonist Maps app to be able to show your GPS speed and track. Includes fully integrated internal hot air balloon flight model. I would love to know what they do, what that means. That's kind of fascinating. As well as your two burners to be able to inflate the balloon envelope. This is a fascinating. It's a fascinating add-on. It really, really is. What is interesting though about this, and one of my big questions, which I think has been answered by the description here, a little footnote in the description, was that I did have to wonder is like, how do you control it? Like, do you literally just go where the winds blow you, or does it actually allow you to control it in some sort of forward and horizontal maneuvering? And from reading the little like bonus, like it says in the bonus features, you can set it to either follow a flight plan or follow the current wind conditions. So interesting that it does actually give you the option of actually going like they do in real life with hot air balloons, of just going wherever the wind may take you. So it's an interesting looking little add-on, this one. So yeah, it was something that I was a little bit both surprised and not surprised at, but at the same time, it kind of piques my interest. It's kind of fascinating. And it's $15 if you want to pick this one up, available now from High Performance Group. Continue on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases now, this time from the team over at Perfect Flight, with the release of their latest mission pack, with the release of British Airways flight operations. So this pack gives you 12 different pre-planned flight routes across 3 different airframes. So you get your 3 liveries included, so one each for the Airbus A320neo, the 787-10 Classic, and the 747-8i. And for each of those aircraft, you get 4 different flights to various destinations that British Airways does go to. Each one includes checklist scripts, so checklists, announcements, various interactions with your co-pilot, which is kind of default behavior of the sim, so not really sure how that's actually unique. But anyway, I don't have it, so I can't sort of speak to that. But it does give you the option. What I find always weird about these trips is that, or these packs from Perfect Flight, is that although these are missions, well, these are bush trips is what they are, and they give you the option for these different IFR flights. But they are reliant, but you have control of the date, the weather, and the time of day. And it also does a multiplayer. So essentially you're buying 3 repaints and getting 12 flight plans to go with it. So I mean, it's interesting concept. So yeah, I'll sort of leave it at that. And if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, expand your mission collection, you pick this one up for $13 or your original equivalent, available now from PC Aviator. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases, but moving into scenery releases now. The team over at Simulations this week released their edition of Prishtina International Airport. So this international airport in Kosovo in Europe is delivered to us with a accurate detailed airport layout as it appears in 2022. With all airport buildings modelled, the main terminal with a custom interior. Custom night lighting has been applied with custom real-world terraforming of the airport and taxiways and runway to actually give that sort of undulating profiles and nature of the taxiways. and includes a variety of custom detritus around the airside and landside to give you the feel of a real-life airport. Now, if you wanted to add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $18 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And rounding out the Microsoft Flight Simulator and Flight Simulation release news for this week. So this week, the release from the team over at AnyBuilds of the release of their Venice Beach pack for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is essentially a landmarks pack for the famous Venice Beach area in Southern California. It's designed as a bit of a promo to accompany their recently released rendition of LAX. By giving you recreating the boardwalk with its gaudy night lights and various different features along the piers there to give you something different to look at if you're wanting to explore, if you're like me and enjoying exploring at lower altitudes. Now, this release comes to us for free as a free release from the team over at AnyBuilds, available from their store, available now. Moving out of flight simulation and moving into the world of the permanent way now, Train Sim World 3 saw 3 new add-on DLCs released this week. So the first one we saw was the release of their Santa Fe F7 add-on, which at the top line says that it's a release of 2 different versions of the F7, the F7A and B, diesel locomotives, both in Santa Fe war bonnet liveries. Includes a boxcar as well as a highly detailed for the trains, includes highly detailed feature-rich driving cabs with true-to-life performance, as well as a training module for the training center, plus 3 scenarios and 18 timetable services for the Cajun Pass route. And if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for a surprisingly cheap price, actually, I'll be honest, for $6 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. In the second train release for Train Sim World 3, you saw this week the release of Dispolok BR 182 add-on, which again brings to us the electric locomotive, the BR 182, in 2 different liveries, the Dispolok yellow and grey. Includes the Habens wagon in a weathered Deutsche Bahn Railion livery. Again, same details, detailed, feature-rich driver code, true-to-life performance, yada, yada, yada. Training module once again, as well as, 3 scenarios and 8 additional timetable services for the Schnellfahrstrecke Kassel-Würzburg route for Train Sim World 3. And again, for the same price, as I said, a little bit surprised because this is definitely cheaper. But from reading some of the says, again, it's $6 for your original equivalent. But interesting, just on both of these, I've noticed that I've seen some comments from some users who have purchased both of those add-ons who have been saying that it's essentially a reskin or a port over of previous DLCs released for Train Sim World 1 that may not have been available for Train Sim World 2. So your mileage may vary. Depending on that one. I'm not really of a train person, so I'm not sure what to make of that, but just buyer beware. Now, in the third release for Train Sim World 3, we saw the release of the Railhead Treatment Train add-on. Now, I had to actually sort of read up on this, and this was kind of interesting. So I didn't actually know what this thing was. It makes full sense, by the way, when I read about it. But it was basically, this is a train that goes along cleaning the tracks to make sure that they're safe for the rest of the trains to run on. So I actually think that's an incredibly important thing to do. And yeah, kind of cool that it's actually recreated for us to do, for you to do in your virtual train system. So kind of cool. Now, with this one includes the Railhead Treatment Train wagon with 4 different configurations from you got dual tank with generator, dual tank with pump, single tank or triple tank variants are included, along with a heavily weathered British Rail Class 66 in EWS livery with additional switches to control the RHTT equipment. Includes a variety of visual add-ons, including the visuals of high-pressure water spraying animations, again, highly detailed feature-rich driving cab, yada, yada, yada. Training module has been included in the training center with 3 scenarios and 16 timetable services for the southeastern high-speed route. Now, if you want to add this one to your collection, you can get this one for $6 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap this week, saw this week the release from the team over at Sabre Interactive of Dakar Desert Rally. So, for those who may not know, the Dakar Desert Rally is a infinitely famous off-road race, and the Dakar one spans a number of different classes, and this simulation attempts to capture all of those various different the thrill, the spectacle, the challenge of an off-road race, as well as giving us all the various different classes that are included or that are available in the real-life rally. Now, this one includes the authentic rally experience with over 30 stages of racing from the official 2020, 2021, and 2022 Dakar Rally races, with officially licensed vehicles, teams, and drivers all included across both multiplayer and single-player modes. Includes full simulation of all 4 seasons with full day-night cycle, and so allows you to encounter billowing dust storms, blazing desert sunlight, grueling rain and snow, or deep mud. You will need to overcome all of them to beat your competition, apparently, according to the tagline. As I said, it includes both single-player and online mode, so you can have a single-player sort of career sort of mode, or you can complete in multiplayer events. Now, along with the release of the core pack, it also includes a 2 day one DLC releases were released. The Audi RS Q e-tron hybrid car, essentially as an off-road vehicle, but powered by electricity rather than gasoline. And then a Legends pack to include a number of legends of the Dakar life, Dakar history. It's also available is a season pass, which will include both the immediate day one DLCs, as well as 5 future DLC packs for new vehicles, a new map, and 2 future rally events in the future. And if you want to pick up the base pack is available for $40 or original equivalent, available from Steam for PC users, and otherwise available for console users from your in-sim marketplace or your in-console marketplaces. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by following me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.